Hi there, Sandra here from the Schwowin's Nest. Thanks for joining me today. My first project is using some paperback books that would have gone in the trash or they would have been recycled. I probably would have maybe taken them to the thrift store, but instead I decided to create something beautiful with them. I'm tearing off the covers and a few of the pages to show some of the print underneath. And I always try to get 3 books that are about the same size and hopefully the same thickness. But in this case, I had one smaller one and then 2 thicker ones. This isn't necessary, but I like to hot glue my books together because then I don't have to worry about hanging on to 3 books at the same time when I'm working with them. So I just put a bead of glue along the spine and then glue them all together. I live in Ontario, Canada, and the great white trillium is our provincial flower. So I decided to find a vintage print online, which I did. I took a screen capture of it and then I took it to my word processing program and put a beige background on it. I will have this linked down in my description box. What I'm going to do now is use quite a bit of Mod Podge and I'm going to put it on all the spines of the book and then I will lay the paper right on top and make sure that it's glued on nicely. Then I glue the paper about an inch or so right on top of the book. I just like to wrap it around. It makes it look so much more finished. Then when I'm finished with that, I tear off the paper and that just gives it even more of an authentic vintage style. Then I give everything a good coat of Mod Podge and then trim off the extra edges and set it aside to dry completely. I added some pretty white cotton lace ribbon, some twine, a few sprigs of greenery, and my gorgeous Sola wood flowers, and I think this turned out absolutely beautiful. My video today is part of the Canada A collab hosted by Lisa from Lisa and Company. Lisa has gathered a bunch of Canadian YouTube creators, and we've got some patriotic decor for you. Most of our decor can most likely be changed into your country's style of decor. So feel free to go down to the description box, click on that playlist link, and check out what everybody created. You are sure to be inspired. The second project I have for you today is using this wire wreath form. It's actually one of the rings from the Dollar Tree wired wreath form. I cut it apart and I covered it with some jute string. This was something that I had used previously, so I don't have the footage for that, but I think you can get the idea. Then I went to my Cricut and I grabbed a whole bunch of different types of cardstock and cut them out on my Cricut in the shape of a maple leaf. I've got some different sizes and lots of different styles. What I'm going to do is just take some hot glue and glue them in, not really a pattern, but just kind of random all the way along the bottom portion of the wreath. This was my inspiration and it's a little different than what the Pinterest one is, but I really love how mine turned out. I got the cardstock from a paper pack at Michael's and it was called Modern Farmhouse. It has a little bit of rustic and some gold in it too. Project number 3 is using this 4-piece palette. I'm going to remove the 4th one because I only need 3 pieces for this project. I'm using the color Clay from Martha Stewart Vintage Chalk Paints, and I've watered it down to create a stain out of it. I'm just going to put that on the 2 outside pieces. This is going to become a Canadian flag sign. Very simple and easy to do. I wanted all of my projects to have more of a rustic farmhouse feel to them. That is my style. For the middle section, I'm going to paint that just with my DIY chalk paint. I'm not going to give it full coverage. I do want a little bit of that wood to show through, but I do still want it to look white. Using my Cricut, I cut out a maple leaf stencil just on some clear plastic sheets that I have, and I'm just going to use the same color to fill it in. Because I'm using a paintbrush, I'm going from the outside in. I'd want to minimize any risk of bleeding. I'm going to hang this sign, so I grabbed some of my cotton rope that I have. It's sort of an off-white color. I tied a knot at one end and I'll hot glue that right onto the top of the board. Then I'll tie a knot on the other side and do the same thing. I'm really happy with the colors I chose for this project. It turned out really beautiful, and I hope you like it too. For this project, I'm going to take some of these medium-sized tumbling tower blocks and a piece of Dollar Tree sign. I believe it's a 4x4, and I'm going to hot glue the tumbling tower blocks all the way around the board, making somewhat of a frame. I've got my little frame built, and I'm going to give it one good coat of DIY black chalk paint. Now I'm going to give some of these mousse cutouts some stain. It's a gel stain in the color walnut. I've got some water in the bottle because I want some of that wood grain to show through. I just love these little mousse cutouts. They're about 4 inches wide, and I got them from a local craft supply store that does all sorts of wood cutouts. I'll have their link down in the description box. At this time, the stockade just ships to Canada, but you'll be able to find all sorts of different moose cutouts on Amazon and on Etsy. I'm using the same black paintbrush to give the mousse some distressing. I'm just flicking my brush in from the edges. It's going to give a little bit of black marks all the way around. Sometimes it was a little bit more than I wanted, but you know what? Distressing is not perfect, so it turned out absolutely fine. I did this on both sides of each of the mousse. Sticking with the rustic sort of neutral tones that I'm doing in this video, I'm again using the clay paint from Martha Stewart and a stippling brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and distress all of the edges, the inside, the top, everywhere. So I'm just giving it a good heavy dry brushing effect. I don't want this to be super black. I don't want it to be really light either. I just want to have a lot of different textures in this piece. Once that had a chance to dry, I took that gel stain again and added a little bit of brown into it. I just wanted this to look like dark old weathered wood. Now I'm adding some hot glue to the feet of each of my mousse, and I'm going to perch them on the top of the tumbling tower blocks all the way around. I'm making a candle holder, and I just thought it would be really neat to have all 4 of these mousse standing up all the way around and then putting a candle inside. I just thought it was kind of cool. You could probably put something else besides a candle in there too if you wanted. It might even be useful for some storage items, but I think this turned out so adorable. I am in love with all of these mousse. I'm using a Dollar Tree sign. I'm going to remove the glass out of it. So I took it all apart and then I put it back together again, minus the glass. And what I'm doing here is just adding some hot glue to the back to make sure it stays in place. I've got some adorable little beaver cutouts. The beaver is the national animal of Canada, and I just thought it would be so sweet to have some type of cute little sign with the beavers on it. So I'm doing the same thing as I did with the moose. I'm just staining them up a little bit. On these ones, I'm only going to need to stain the front because you won't see the back. I've got two sizes. One is a 3-inch and the other is a 2-inch. I love that the backing of this sign is that wood grain color. The frame itself is plastic, but it's sort of a beigey gray, perfect coloring for my projects, and it's just working really well with my theme. I went to my Cricut and I got this font called Baby Chipmunk, and I'm using that to write the words "Oh Canada." Now, normally I would have probably put this onto the backing before I glued it back into the frame, but that's okay. These letters are big enough that I'll just be able to use my Cricut weeding tool and pick them up and place them where I need them to be. I wanted the largest beaver to sit up off the backing, so I'm using 3 of these little pieces of popsicle stick. I'm going to glue them in a stack, and then I'll just glue the largest beaver right on top. And that will just make him look like he's popping off the background. If you're liking this video so far, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. Hitting that like button tells YouTube that you like my video, you like my channel, and they promote me more, which helps my channel grow. I'm going to hot glue some of the Dollar Tree reindeer moss to the bottom of the frame, and then I'm going to add the other 2 little beavers right on top of the frame. I also added one more of the Sola wood flowers. I love these 1-inch little white ones. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I think that just topped everything off and made it still rustic, but a little bit pretty too. I hope you like this one. It was really fun to make. My last project for you is a little more detailed than all the others, but I think it's worth it in the long run. I've got 4 of these little canvas frames. They are a 4x6 size, and I'm just very carefully going to be removing the canvas. I'll save that for a different project. And then I'm going to use a small screwdriver and my needle nose pliers to pull out as many staples as I can. My idea was to make a lantern out of these frames, but I didn't like how the sides doubled up. So I took all of the pieces apart and created my own frame this way. So 2 of the longer pieces on the sides and the shorter pieces in the middle. Then I just continued to build until I had a box with all of these pieces. I used hot glue to put them all together, and these frames were super easy to get apart. You just kind of had to wiggle them back and forth, and the staple just kind of pulled right out. This wood is fairly soft, so that was an easy fix, and they were a little bit wonky, some of the sides, but that's okay. This is a lantern just for me, so I'm okay with it being a little funky. I'm using some of this DAP Dry Decks spackle to fill in all of the staple holes and any of the grooves and chunks of wood that are missing. And I love this stuff because it goes on pink, and when it's white, it's dry. It also sands up really nice and smooth. It doesn't leave a flying dust. It's more of a heavyweight dust, so it falls to the bottom and it's super easy cleanup. I'm going to give the lantern all the way around a couple of coats of my DIY white chalk paint, and then I'm going to just set it aside to dry and work on the inserts. This is the fun part. I get this plastic poster board from Michaels. It's about $3 and it is the size of a poster board. It's a nice thick plastic and it's perfect for creating stencils. What I'm doing here is I used my Cricut to cut out, and I used the corrugated cardboard setting on these, and I made sure that my image was in the center of the piece because I am using a Cricut Joy, which is a little smaller. So I had to make sure that I had enough space on either side. I'm using my weeding tool just to pop out that design, and this is going to be the wall of my lantern. I have 4 different designs. I started off with a maple leaf, I have a moose, I have a beaver, and I have a pair of or one skate for hockey. So what I'm going to do is just peel all of these out and then I'll cut them to size and then get them into the lantern. I have to admit that this part was a little finicky trying to fit each of the pieces in. I had to do a lot of small cuts to make sure that I didn't go too small. And then on the inside, I'm going to use some hot glue on the top and the bottom just to hold them in place. I'm not going to use a lot of hot glue because, of course, this is plastic and it will melt. I was really loving the look of the lantern, but I thought it needed something at the top. So I've got these half round wood beads that I've glued to the top just using hot glue. And now I'm going to take some of the leftover pieces of the frame and make sort of an X pattern on the top. I've put the lantern upside down so I can put the first piece of wood right in there and make sure that it's glued underneath the half round beads. That way you don't see the jagged edges of it. Using my miter shears, I'm going to be cutting the next piece of wood in half, and then I have to put an angle on it so I can get the X in the right position. And it took a little bit of snipping with my miter shears, but I did finally get it. To cover up where the wood pieces meet, I'm using this little wooden wheel. I think I got these at Michael's, and I'm just going to hot glue that to the top. Then I'm going to add a cabinet knob that I pulled off of an old project, and then I'm going to paint everything white. Using the Martha Stewart chalk paint in clay, I'm going to just give this a dry brushing. I want it to have a little bit more of a rustic look and not be quite so white and clean. And I'm going to do the beads, and every single piece of wood that you can see is going to get some distressing. I'm actually just using the stencil brush from the Dollar Tree. I find that it's really nice and rough. I don't use it for stenciling because I'd rather use the makeup sponges. I just feel like I get a better look that way. So this is a great use of this little brush. I placed the lantern on top of a little wood cutting board and added some glowing lights in it, and I think it turned out amazing. I am so pleased with this project. I really hope you enjoyed my video today. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up, and that notification bell. I don't want you to miss anything else that I have to share with you. If you like this kind of content, please make sure you stick around by hitting that subscribe button. Thanks so much to Lisa at Lisa and Company for including me in the collab. Don't forget to check out the playlist to get some more patriotic inspiration. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. See you in the next one.